I'm ProdigiousTrip. I review anything and everything, and we're with another spoiler corner here. And today we're looking at the very last episode of The Walking Dead season 1, episode 6, aka the season finale. Ooh, come here, Nebula. This is my dog, Nebula. Who's a good girl, yeah? See, who's a good girl? Huh? Who's a good girl? This is my dog, Nebula. Who's she, huh? Who's it? Oh, yeah, who's it, huh? She's puppy dog tamed, as Jimmy's Boas would say. Yes, oh yes. She's going to help me review today. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. She's going to keep me safe from the zombies. Yeah? Do you keep me safe from the zombies? Huh? Because I got my snacks, which you can't have because these are chocolate. Yeah. Mr. Feastables. So, yeah, you can't have these. Huh? You can have some goldfish, though, okay? You can have the goldfish ones there, okay? So, we left off with Maggie trying to get out, or getting out of the tunnel. Ginny got out first, set off a flare, and Negan realizes who that is right away. And so he runs out and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like super mad. He's like, "You shouldn't be here. This is bad." And the marshal finally has like a heart, and he's like, "Hey, how about this? Let me take her back to, I don't even think he knows where she goes, but he knows that he can take her back because Negan's like, hey, we got to finish what we started, and I'm going to help Maggie get Herschel back." And you see, I guess, in one of the flashbacks, Ginny actually, who's a good girl. Yeah. So in one of the flashbacks, Ginny saw that they had grain. She knows that Herschel was gone. Yeah, but they didn't have the grain. They did not have the grain, Nip. Where did the grain go? Where did it go? It didn't go anywhere. So she knew that they didn't have she heard Maggie say that Crow was going to come back because he took all the grain and he was going to come back for some more. Well, turns out, Maggie was lying the whole time. Ginny came back actually to warn Negan because, she knows that Maggie's having this plan to kill him. Or at least to hand him over to Croat. He never once actually says that he wants Negan dead. He just says he wants, Croat says he just wants Negan. So, this was a really very anticlimactic ending to this show. It was a good 6 episodes, don't get me wrong, but it really did not have that zest or that oomph I wanted. Again, The Walking Dead, the first season was only 6 episodes. It was a miniseries. And I think they were going to keep it a miniseries and maybe just keep it just that, too. Like, it wasn't going to be anything bigger. It wasn't going to be anything better. It was just going to be what it was. And everybody loved it. Everyone was just like, because this was, I think, the very first zombie series. And, I mean, they've had other movies and shows where it's like, they had other movies and stuff, but this is the first show to actually have, like, zombies. And I know that other TV shows have done things where, like, an episode had a zombie in it or some kind of creature that was zombie-like. But The Walking Dead was the very first zombie television series, and it just exploded to this amazing franchise. And it has, like, so many different so many different spin-off shows. Like I said, I stopped watching after I tried to, The Fear of the Walking Dead. I could not get into it. I tried, I really did. And this one, the only reason I wanted to watch this is because I love these characters, Maggie and Negan. They even talk about it in this episode that Negan's like, you and me, Maggie, we are a force to be reckoned with. We are a team. We're pretty good together when we need to be. And so in this episode, Ginny actually does start to talk. She tries to, at least. And Negan's like, what are you doing here? This is like the worst timing in the world for you to be here. And she goes, I can't remember exactly what it is she's about to say, but Negan just cuts her off and goes, what, now? You decide to start talking? Really? And, like, we're in the middle of this, city that's filled with zombies, and you want to start talking now. And he's like, shut up. Go home. And, she was like, she just keeps on trying to hug him, and she's like, I guess she saw him as a father figure, but he's trying to get her to leave, so he does what, most people you've seen in every other movie or TV show do, and they're like, well, we got to give him a reason to leave. And Negan just looks at her and he goes, look, you are just a debt that I was trying to repay, okay? I killed your dad. You think I'm wanted for, stealing, food from people or something? No, I'm wanted for murder. I murdered a lot of people, and your dad was one of them. And I know that you have nobody, and so I was trying to help you out and get you to Hilltop or someplace so that you could be safe. And she just looked at him like, I think she finally, he kept telling her, he's like, you don't know who I am. Like, I am not this nice guy you think that I am. I'm a horrible person. And so she finally realizes what it is. And then Marshall, again, I really don't know his name, so I'm just calling him the Marshall. He looks at Negan and goes, hey, look, I'll take her back for you. And so he takes her and he leaves. He takes her to, I don't know where he takes her. I don't think he takes her back to Hilltop. He takes her someplace, and he goes back to where he's from, which I don't know. It's New Babylon, so the marshals are like, I guess the guys in charge, or at least like, judge, jury, and executioner kind of people. But he works for somebody, and she goes, all right, tell me again what happened. He goes, well, I found Negan, and, he made a move, and I had to kill him. So she goes, oh, okay. She keeps on, like, I don't know what her name is. She just looks like she's the one in charge of this New Babylon. And she's sitting down, and she looks at him and goes, all right, tell me again. And I want to know more about this methane in the sewers. He doesn't, I don't think he was actually in the sewers, so I don't know if he would know anything about it, but I don't know why she's curious about the methane in the sewers. So anyway, it's a weird thing. I'm not too worried about it. So that was the end for him and his whatever, like, adventure. Back with Maggie and Negan, they team up to go find Croat. They see him, he's driving around the city, and they finally followed him to, I don't know, the docks or something, or I don't know where they're at. And as Negan looks at Maggie, he knows something's up, because he was like, let me ask you something. Did you know Jenny was coming here? Or did he know that, she, did you know anything about Jenny? And he goes, she just tells her, she goes, no, she just showed up right when we were getting attacked by the zombies inside the, whatever the bad guy's place was. And then she said something about, like, maybe she was just worried about you or something. But the way she said it, I think, is what set him off. He just looks at her and goes, and immediately, like, he tries to stop, like, they just start fighting each other, like, oh yeah, this is a trap, Maggie's going to kill me or something, or whatever. So they start fighting, and sure enough, Maggie gets the upper hand, and then Croat's people show up, and she's like, here he is, we had a deal. And he goes, you're right, we had a deal. So he gives her Herschel, and she gives him Negan, and, Herschel's acting like, it's weird how he's acting. He goes, he kept saying, like, you're not looking at me, you're looking at the past, or you're looking past me at Negan all the time. Even when Negan wasn't around, all you could think about was him, or all you can, I think she was a little more focused on trying to keep him safe. That she was afraid she'd lose him like she did Glenn. But, she says she wants to try to, be a better mom. But she said she knows that, there's still some unfinished business with Negan, so either she wants him dead, or she really wants to, I guess, I don't know. It's kind of weird. And it was, like I said, very anticlimactic. Nobody's fighting, nobody's, it wasn't a big, zombie brawl or anything. Croat takes Negan back to this lady that's at that opera house I was telling you about earlier. You don't know her name, but he calls her mom. And he's like, yeah, this is like my mom meeting my dad and blah, blah, blah. And so, like, Croat's, you find out he's just like a henchman. He's not really like the guy in charge. She is. And she offers Negan an opportunity, saying, like, hey, I need someone like you to run this city because blah, blah, blah. We can take over the world if we have everybody that we could take over here in the city. But, because Negan's so, I don't know, charismatic, or his character, or his, however he is, she thinks that he can be the person to run this city. And, he doesn't really look like he's interested in doing it. And then she goes, here, open this box. So he takes the key, opens this box, and it's a toe. And he goes, what is this? And she goes, Well, while Herschel was here, we had a long conversation, and it shows that she said, like, we didn't need him. We needed you, but we could still go back and get pieces of him if you don't help us. So it's kind of like, hey, we're going to go kill him if you don't work for me. And it kind of just ends like, with Negan looking like, he doesn't have a choice. He's got to do this. But then it's just like, that's it. Like, it wasn't again, I actually did like the series. They had miniseries, so it wasn't as big epic as you would like a big season finale or something, but I figured they would have more oomph to it. They tried to do all these little twists and turns, and I get it. Again, something with just Maggie and Negan, you expected to have that tension, and you did. It really was good. But I was really hoping for more variant zombies, some that can either climb or open doors. All we had was that one freaky zombie that was looked like 4 zombies mutated into one. But I guess it was just like 4 of them melted together because of the heat or whatever. But yeah, let's get more of those zombies, please. I would love to see more of that. My gosh, everyone wants to see that. Give me an action figure of that thing. Ooh. But yeah, let's, season 2 was greenlit, so we'll see what happens with that. That was pretty much it. So take it if you like it or not. I know that a lot of people do like the spin-offs of The Walking Dead, which is okay. I'm not a big fan of them. I just like the main show, and I did like this one. I'll probably start watching the Daryl Dixon. That's what it's called, The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. I think that's what it's called. And he's in France. I don't know what that's about. And I don't know how he got across there, so that'll be cool. But it looks like it's just about him. It doesn't show like anybody else, so I figured, it's going to have Carol in it, because I always thought those two should, I hook up. Like I always shipped those two, Carol and Dixon, or Carol and Daryl, Daryl and Carol. I always, those two are always my favorite characters, besides Rick, which I know they talked about his show that's supposed to come out next year, like the one that got, or something. I don't even remember. I'm just like, okay, at least they finally talked about it, because I'm like, I don't know why they had to wait so long for them to greenlight that show or whatever. And I don't think he's been doing anything else. I don't see him in movies or another TV show. I know that Michonne, or the actress that plays her, she was in the Black Panther movies. She was in the Avengers. So I don't know if that was actually her, if she shaved her head for it or not, but she was like, she's so cool in those movies. I do like her character. She's a great actor. She's one of my favorite characters too. So I think that was it for the Dead City. Thanks for watching it with me. I will keep you up to date on what else I'm going to do next. I'm probably going to try to do another show, probably one that's not on right now, but was on. One of my favorite shows. I know, again, it didn't it did get greenlit for a second season, so it wasn't a mini series. But since some of these shows that are on streaming, they don't have a lot of episodes. They're usually like maybe 9 episodes or something, like Stranger Things. But I'm gonna probably try to do the Halo series next. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you'll like and subscribe. And I'll still doing more of these spoiler corners of just those episodes. If you haven't seen it, try to check it out. Or if you want to just hear me talk about it, it's fine. But hey, I'm ProdigiousTrip. I'll see you later.